Hi out there in TV land. Welcome to the world of Jones Knows. Today we're going to be reviewing Nucore flooring. Then I thought we'd pop into one of my job sites where we're installing 800 feet this week. And then let's go over some of the common misconceptions and facts regarding vinyl flooring. Let's get started.
It's so beautiful, you and me, we meant to be.
I thought we'd do something a little differently with this review. While I'm reviewing the product, I want to play the installation from this week's job of this Nucore product. And from time to time, we'll switch screens and see what's going on at the job site. So, let's send it out to the job site now with me, number 2, not live. I'm excited. Today we're installing one of my favorite products. We're installing Nucore waterproof vinyl. The color is Colorado Mocha. We're doing a living room, dining room, hall combination. It was a water damage. The old laminate was removed. We've installed a 6mm vapor barrier because we're on the ground floor and it's over concrete. And now we're going to install our Nucore. Look at the job, see how we're doing. Alright, so the way the tongues work out on this product, it's installed left to right. So in our case here, we're going to be starting off the slider. Now, in a room like this, when I'm determining the direction I want to lay the floor, I'm going to take several factors into consideration. Number 1, the direction of the room. Which way is it longest? But number 2, one of my most important factors in my opinion, is the direction of the light flow. So I like to have the light run down the plank. So in our case here, we have a slider. The light is going to run through the slider into the house, which is also the longest direction of the room. And then it's number 3, third factor I take into consideration is the way that you walk into the room. When you walk into the room, you want to be looking immediately down the planks. Front door right there. So that checks all 3 boxes as far as criteria of direction. So there's no doubt we're going to run this floor lengthwise from front to back of the house, the way the light flows, the longest part of the room, and the way you look down the floor when you come into the room. We're doing the living area first, going into a dining, followed by a hallway over there. We've already installed our 6mm vapor barrier, and now we're going to rock and roll and start laying this floor. Wow, he really knows what he's talking about, and they're doing a great job. We'll check in from time to time with them, but for now, let's get started with the review. The Nucore product that I'm reviewing is Mixed Mocha, formerly known as Colorado Mocha. Funny thing is, the box I actually installed said Colorado Mocha, but after verifying the SKU, it is confirmed that it is now called Mixed Mocha. I guess the store that my client purchased the material from still had some of the old boxes in stock. So the specs on the product, it's a 6.5mm thick product, 7 inches wide, with a 22mm wear layer. In comparison to a product I reviewed earlier in the week that started with an L, which only had a, I believe, 6mm wear layer, it's pretty impressive. You know, you see all the some of the reviewers that do the torture tests on these products, and I thought it would be interesting to do one myself. So I recently took 6 planks of the Colorado Mocha and I threw them in an incinerator for 16 hours. And upon take, no, I'm just kidding. We did not do that at all. This product is going to last longer than me or you. Okay, so people that are hitting these floors with die grinders and driving over them with chainsaws and stuff like that, they really have other problems in life that they need to worry about besides flooring. First things first, on YouTube, make sure if you're going to watch a review or a how-to video that the person that's reviewing or doing the how-to actually knows how to. Common sense, you think, but you'd be surprised how many videos out there are by people like Bob, who just installed his mom's friend's sister's vinyl floor in a closet, and guess what? He did it wrong. But he decided to make a video on it. 23 years, I love what I do, and this is all I do, and you can be sure that we do it the right way the first time. Wouldn't give advice or facts that I haven't tried and been using for years. Hey, let's head back out to the job. It looks like we're finally getting started with the floor. Let's watch us put a few boards in. Probably the most important tool you can have when you're doing this is a good rubber mallet. But the key to using the rubber mallet is to tap the end joint down directly above where it needs to be. If you hit it down in the wrong place, it's either not going to install or you're going to end up breaking the end joint. Besides that, when you were installing these, obviously we want to work from multiple boxes. You notice we have probably like 10 boxes open. We'll have them laid out across the room so that we can keep grabbing light, dark boards. We can go light to dark, light to dark. You want to just blend it in properly. But the main thing you want to do is to have different size starters. You don't want to use full boards as a starter ever, because then you're going to have a repeating joint lined up somewhere in the floor. So I'll never use a full board at all. I want the floor to look completely natural. No two joints will ever line up. I will say the Nucore, the long joints just go in so nicely. There's no struggling, they drop right in. And once you get the long joint in, it's just tap down that end joint and you're off to the races. And that's why it's important to lay the floor the right direction. You know, we're going the length of the room and it's less cuts and it makes our job a heck of a lot easier. Getting tired again just watching myself work again. But let's get on with this, let's keep going with the review. So with this product, of course, it is resistant to scratching and denting. I've reviewed a similar Nucore product which I have submerged in water for over a month and placed the heaviest pieces of furniture in my home on it, and I can tell you it tested well in every category. The water did not phase it. It didn't develop any mold, mildew, because it's supposed to be antimicrobial. It lives up to that. So these new age vinyls have what's called a rigid core in them, where they actually take out most of the real vinyl and they put a hard core in the center that makes it resistant to denting. So these products are they're gonna rate fine for heavy furniture, for moisture, which is what you really want to hear. When it comes to scratching, anything is gonna scratch. I've been able to scratch tile. I've seen carpet, when you drag something across it, catch a loop, and the carpet rip and fray. So any floor can scratch. What you want to hear is how easy is it to repair. And this floor is very easy to repair. It's a locking system, there's no glue that's used, so it's very easy to switch boards out. That's why I tell my clients and my customers, and I'm telling you, to always have some left over when the job is complete. It's very easy to fix these floors, providing you have the material to fix them with. I get several calls every day from clients wanting me to fix a floor for them that they didn't have any wood left over or any vinyl or laminate, whatever the product is. They had no material left over, so there's nothing that I can do to fix it. Even if you find the right color in a similar product, every manufacturer puts a different locking system, different thickness to the floor, different width. They don't work together. So save extra material when the job is over. If you don't have any left over, go back to the store and buy some more. It's probably the best advice I can give, the single most important piece of advice that I can give you. For your investment, you're spending a lot of money on flooring, you want to be able to repair it, because nobody is perfect. It's not a perfect world we live in. Accidents happen. It's just a matter of, can it be fixed? And yes, with this product it can be fixed very easy, providing we have something to fix it with. As far as installation, this stuff's so easy to install. You watch enough videos online and you have any kind of common sense at all, you should be able to install this product in, I would start out with basic bedrooms and smaller areas, maybe mudrooms, bathrooms, but it's very easy. It's a very easy product to install. I said I just reviewed a product earlier in this week that started with the letter L, and it's a competitor product, and it was not. You have to go on my site to see what video it was. I'm not going to give it away, but it was not nearly as easy to install as this particular product here. So I can tell you, when I first, it had been a few weeks since I installed some Nucore, and when we first started putting it in, it's me and my sons that work for me, and we just all looked at each other and we're like, oh, we love this. It's almost like, are we getting paid to do this? It goes in so easy and so nice that it was a pleasure. Let's go over some commonly asked questions about vinyl and floating floors in general. So one of the questions I get all the time is, can I install my vinyl floor over tile? And the answer is yes, as long as the tile is solid. What I mean solid is it's attached to the concrete or subfloor below. So if you were to knock on the tiles and it feels solid and you don't hear any hollow spots, you can take a broom handle and walk around and tap them and it's solid everywhere, then you have a solid floor and you can install it over that tile. That being said, the other question I get all the time, or sometimes I should get that question, sometimes people don't ask, but the point is, the other thing about tile is you have grout joints. Now, if they're really thick grout joints to the point where they're 1/4 inch or bigger, and you have a floor that's not that thick, maybe not a 4 or 3 mil vinyl, you're going to want to float the grout joints. You're going to want to level the grout joints off. It'll telegraph, and you will see like a grid pattern across the vinyl floor over time. The first generation vinyls, and there's still some out there, the 2 and 3 and 4 mil thick vinyls, you could actually see the graphing, the tile pattern after maybe 6 to 8 months, it would start to appear. So you just want to make sure that if you're not doing a thick product and they are a thick grout joint, that you may want to consider patching the grout joints on the tile. Another question I get all the time is, do we have to leave expansion with vinyl? And the answer is yes. You have to leave expansion with vinyl. Now, does it expand as much? No. But you still want to leave, I always leave 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch. Why not? I mean, you're going to put trim around the exterior anyways. Why chance it? Why not leave a decent amount of expansion? However thick your trim is, just make it a little bit less than that, and you'll be fine. But it needs to be at least 1/8 of an inch. If you and be realistic, it needs to be at least 1/8 of an inch, the manufacturers say. But to me, I like to do 1/4 of an inch minimum. Another question I get all the time is acclimation. Is it necessary with vinyl? And the answer to that is going to depend on the manufacturer. This particular product here, Nucore, does not require acclimation, so it can be installed right away. As long as, there's always that but, or that if, right? As long as it's a stable environment and it has any kind of drastic change in temperature, where it was 90 degrees today and it's going to be 30 tomorrow. God, I wish it would be 30 here. That would be beautiful. Then I could acclimate tomorrow's floor and then I don't have to go to work. Getting ahead of myself. But that's the answer to that question of acclimation. Another question I get all the time is, do we have to use T-moldings in our doorways? Because with laminate, you have to put T-moldings in all of your, well, you're supposed to put T-moldings, I won't put them. But I like living on the edge. Here at Jones Knows, we're daredevils. Yes, with laminate you're supposed to. In the homes I work in, I would get thrown out if I even brought a T-molding to the job. But that's why they hire me, and that's why I do the type of jobs that I do. That being said, the question is vinyl, and no. The answer is no, you don't have to put T-moldings in your doorways. Another question I get all the time is vapor barrier. This product has a padding on the back, so does that mean that covers the vapor barrier as well? Well, with our particular product today, Nucore, you still need a vapor barrier. But there are other products like Life Proof on the market that don't require it. So you're always going to want to read your directions. If anybody out there has a question that they would like answered, I've been doing this for centuries, for a very long time, for eons, since the beginning of time. I have been doing this since floating floors started, practically. Well, not since they started, but I have been doing it since before the invent of the locking system. I've been doing floating floors since we used to have to glue them together for over 20 years, 23 years to be exact. So there isn't many circumstances or situations that I haven't come across, or any products that I haven't worked with. If you have a question you'd like answered, please feel free to drop us a line. Put a comment in the comment section, and I'm pretty quick to respond, and I'd be happy to answer your question about vinyl, or any floor for that matter. Alright, let's go take one last trip out to the job. I think we're finishing. What? You want to go too? Alright, let's all go out to the job. I think we're finishing up, and let's see how it's turning out. So this is the point of the job that I love to call the home stretch. We're just about done with the floor. We'll start our trim shortly, but now we're tuning into my son putting in a rip in the hallway. The easiest way to install a rip board is with a pry bar. You tighten the board and then use your rubber mallet to then tap it down and engage the locking system. If you just use a pry bar alone, the board still may be up on an angle, and then it won't lock down properly. So notice here on his jam cut, the easiest way to snap off a little piece when you score it with your knife is to use pliers. If you try to break that yourself, you'll either hurt yourself or you won't be able to do it. So we use pliers, and they make our life a lot easier. Speaking of making our life easier, we're using our 1/4 ounce scissors here. You notice the scissors on the ground. I have a whole video just about the 1/4 ounce scissors and how they make the job go so much faster. We were able to do probably a couple 100 feet of 1/4 ounce here in about 20 minutes. You notice my son putting on the finishing touches. No job is complete without some caulking to finish things off. We also installed that 5 1/4 inch baseboard. That's not a 5180 profile. It's a 5163. It's often confused for a 5180. The job looks great though. You notice we have boxes of flooring all over the place. That's not for decoration. We're actually using them as weight on top of the thresholds. The homeowner purchased real wood thresholds instead of the vinyl ones, so they really need to be pushed tight and flexed to the shape of the floor. Well, I hope you enjoyed our work here. Now back to the review. Hey, there you are. What do you think? You sold on this product yet? They have a lot of other colors to pick from as well. As far as reviewing this particular product, I love installing it. I think it's a great value for the money. I'm gonna say that it's still a mid-range product. It's not a high-end vinyl. It's not a low-end vinyl, but in its class, I'd say it's one of the better vinyls in that price range of the $3-ish range. But it does make for a nice installation, and I think you would be very happy with it. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you found it entertaining as well as informative. We've been doing flooring for 23 years. We've been doing videos for 2 months. But we've been getting better with each one, and we love doing them. And also check out my Tim's Tips line of videos where I show some of the secrets behind our installations, some of the techniques and tools that we use to accomplish some of the feats and amazing jobs. And like I say all the time, take out your favorite flooring mallet and smash that subscribe button if you want to see more videos like this. Thanks for watching. Have a great night.
It's so beautiful. You and me, we meant to be.
Oh, you notice my box collection here. I'm a floorer. And I just had this theory. You know, if I was a hunter and I was hunting, I would put like the heads across the wall. So as a floorer, I thought about keeping trophies and maybe putting them across the wall as like decoration for my kills, or my captures, or whatever. I don't know if I run that one by my wife or not, but it's quite a collection that's growing over the last few days here. We have, would you like to meet the family? We have Nucore. We have Life Proof. We have my friend Brucey over here. That's LM in the corner over there. He's not very friendly. And over there, he hates me because I only use him on risers, and he never gets to do a real floor. That's I don't even know his name. I call him Glacier White. What is your name over there? That's my buddy Chrono over there. It's Chrono Swiss. He's a riser guy. He's never made it. He's never got the big call to the real floor yet. One day, that would be a nightmare. Glacier White. It would be like a museum where I just wanted all white, nothing with color, no color at all. Just like a little speck of dirt would like stand out, like a smudge mark. You would see it like from the moon. That would be, I couldn't even imagine trying to get that floor cleaned enough to get paid on the job. But one day, and the white floors, I put a white floor in my own home, and it's not a white floor, but a really light colored floor. The first job I ever did, and it still gives me nightmares. Every joint that was a glue together product, and every little joint that was enclosed all the way because they didn't put enough glue, because I didn't know what I was doing 23 years ago. I still can remember each and every one. I think I started to name them like I did kids I was having at the time. You see, my trophy collection is just from this week. Can you imagine if I'd been saving trophies for years? Wow. Can you imagine what this place would look like? That would be amazing. Or that would be a hoarder. Yeah. Let's get rid of these boxes later. I don't think I get another week like this. But anyways, you don't know what goes on behind the scenes in these videos. You know, anybody can make a floor look good when they're editing a video, and you won't see gaps and spaces. I was just watching, I won't even say who, a video by someone that has a lot of subscribers. Well, a lot to me is like 100, but they had a lot of subscribers, and they were going over their floor, and I could see like joint on top of joint on top of joint on top of, like, if I tried to even put like an end joint like that close, you have an end joint here, an end joint here, an end joint here, like you're supposed to put like 8 inches at least between end joints, and they had like 8 inches that covered like 12 end joints. Literally, I mean, it was insane. And they actually work for a flooring store, and I can't imagine in the town. I mean, most of the homes I work in are close to $1 million and up. I can't imagine any one of my customers, I do a lot of real wood, would even pay me if I tried to do a floor that looked like that. I mean, they would shut the job down before I even got the first room done. But some people just don't realize that they're even doing things wrong. So it's important when you're watching reviews to make sure that you do a little research, know the facts about products yourself, and actually sometimes pause the video, take a look if you think you see something wrong, because you probably do.